Weaver's Thread, a journey of faith and purpose. One introduction, the struggle of unanswered prayers. In a bustling city filled with towering skyscrapers and the hum of ceaseless activity, lived a young woman named Meera. She was known for her drive and determination, the kind of person who believed in hard work, planning, and persistence. Meera had a clear vision for her future and had always taken steps to ensure she was on the path to success. She graduated with top honors, landed a high-paying job in a renowned firm, and was in a committed relationship with someone she thought would be her life partner. But as the months went by, life began to unravel in ways Meera hadn't foreseen. First, her relationship ended unexpectedly, leaving her feeling broken and abandoned. Just weeks later, she lost her job due to a downsizing effort by her company, which felt like another cruel blow. With her career halted and personal life in shambles, she became anxious and fearful, waking up every day feeling like her life was slipping out of her control. In her search for comfort and guidance, Meera began to pray every night, asking God why her life was falling apart. She hoped that a clear answer would come, that a door would open or a sign would appear, pointing her in a new direction. But days turned into weeks and weeks into months with no answer. She felt like her prayers were echoing into an empty sky. Was God even listening? 2. The encounter, meeting an old weaver. One gloomy afternoon, Meera decided to take a walk in the city's park to clear her mind. She wandered aimlessly, her thoughts clouded with worry and despair. As she walked, she noticed an old man sitting by a small loom under a tree. The man's hands moved gracefully as he wove colorful threads together, creating a tapestry with intricate patterns and vibrant colors. Curious and a bit enchanted by the peaceful look on his face, Meera stopped to watch him work. The old man noticed her presence and smiled warmly. "Hello, young lady," he greeted. "I see something troubles you." Meera hesitated but found herself sitting beside him, drawn by his kindness. "It's everything. My life feels like a series of mistakes and failures. I thought I had it all figured out, but it feels like nothing makes sense anymore," she confessed. The old man nodded with understanding. "Life can feel that way sometimes," he said, his hands never pausing their work on the loom. "But like this tapestry, each thread is placed for a reason, even if it doesn't make sense up close." "What do you mean?" Meera asked, intrigued. The man held up a section of his work, showing her the underside. It was a tangle of knots, loose threads, and seemingly chaotic patterns. "Look closely. From this side, it looks messy, doesn't it?" She nodded, studying the disorganized knots. "But watch," he said, flipping it over. On the other side was a beautiful, symmetrical design. This is what the world sees. Each thread has a place, a purpose. Just because we can't see the beauty while it's being woven doesn't mean it isn't there. Meera was silent, digesting his words. It struck a chord deep within her, this idea that her life, messy and confusing as it seemed, could still be part of a greater plan. 3. The story of the weaver's pattern. Sensing that Meera was struggling with faith, the old man continued, "Let me tell you a story I was told when I was young. It's the story of the weaver's pattern." He began, "Imagine you are a single thread in a vast tapestry. From where you stand, you see only the colors nearby and feel the tension pulling you from all sides. But you don't see the full picture. You're part of something bigger, a tapestry that stretches beyond your sight. God is the master weaver, placing each thread, each one of us, in a way that we can't understand from our limited perspective. We see knots and tangles, but he sees a masterpiece." Meera listened, feeling a mixture of hope and skepticism. "So you're saying God has a plan for me, even if I can't see it?" The old man smiled gently. "Exactly. Sometimes it takes patience to see the beauty unfold." 4. Faith tested. More obstacles and learning patience. Inspired by her conversation with the weaver, Meera left the park feeling a small spark of hope. She decided to hold on to the idea that maybe, just maybe, her life's setbacks were leading her somewhere she couldn't yet see. However, life didn't become easier right away. Her financial situation worsened, and the weight of her problems seemed to grow heavier. She faced rejections from job interviews and saw friends and family moving forward in their lives, while she felt stuck. In her frustration, she began to question the weaver's words. Was it really possible that there was a plan, that her pain had purpose? She longed to return to her previous life, where everything had been predictable and under control. Yet each time she felt like giving up, the memory of the old man's peaceful smile reminded her to stay patient. She decided to focus on the present moment, choosing to believe in the possibility of a higher plan, even if she couldn't understand it. 5. Embracing service and finding clarity. To occupy her time and distract herself from her worries, Meera began volunteering at a local shelter. She spent her days serving meals, listening to the stories of people from all walks of life, and witnessing their resilience despite their hardships. At first, it was just a way to fill her empty days, but soon she found herself genuinely enjoying the work. For the first time in months, she felt a sense of purpose, not from achieving a personal goal, but from helping others. Through these small acts of kindness, Meera started to feel a subtle but powerful shift within herself. Her focus moved from her own problems to the needs of others. Her heart softened, and she began to see life differently, with a compassion that had been absent before. She realized that her journey, painful as it had been, was transforming her into a person who could connect deeply with others. She felt a glimmer of something greater than herself, an unexplainable connection to the world around her. 6. The revelation, a job opportunity and new purpose. Months later, as Meera continued her work at the shelter, she was approached by the organization's director. "We've noticed your dedication and the way you connect with people here," the director said. "There's a position opening up for a coordinator at one of our sister organizations. Would you be interested?" Meera was stunned. This opportunity was unexpected, yet it felt like a perfect fit. The role combined her skills with her newfound passion for service. As she accepted the position, she felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. It was as if every setback, every hardship, had prepared her for this very moment. For the first time, Meera could see how the threads of her life, messy and tangled as they had seemed, had led her to a purpose she hadn't envisioned for herself. Her pain had not been wasted. It had taught her resilience, empathy, and the joy of giving. 7. Conclusion, a heart of faith. Several weeks later, Meera returned to the park, hoping to find the old weaver again. She spotted him under the same tree, weaving with his gentle hands and serene expression. She approached him, and he looked up with a knowing smile. "Ah, it seems you found your way," he said. Meera nodded, feeling her heart fill with gratitude. "You were right. I couldn't see it before, but now I understand. All those setbacks were leading me somewhere I never would have chosen, but exactly where I needed to be." The old man held up his tapestry, still unfinished but beautiful, each thread woven with purpose. "Life is like this," he said softly. "Sometimes we only see the knots and tangles, but God sees the whole design. Trust in His plan, even when you can't see it." Meera smiled, feeling a deep peace settle over her. She had learned to let go of control, to trust that there was a purpose behind every experience, even the painful ones. She had become like the thread in the weaver's tapestry, woven into something greater than herself. As she walked away, Meera knew that she would face more challenges and hardships, but she was no longer afraid. She had found faith not in her own plans, but in the idea that her life was part of a larger story, a story written with purpose and love by the Master Weaver.